The Amarillo Sod Poodles are on the road against Northwest Arkansas this week after starting the season against the Springfield Cardinals at home this past week. And Corrin Davis sat down with the Director of Baseball Communications, Zach Robbins, in our latest Sod Poodles Minute.
I'm Corrin Davis, joined here by Sod Poodles Baseball Communications, Zach Robbins. How are we doing today, Zach?
Fantastic. Couldn't be better. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for joining us in the bleachers today. Yeah. So for those of us who don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis, it's a grind just like the team is grinding on a week-in, week-out basis. What can you tell us about what you do?
Yeah, a lot of it boils down to how I can best tell the story of this team, trying to figure out like if there's any like fun facts, tidbits, nuggets, whatever word you want to use for that, trying to figure out like how I can paint us in as positive of a light as I can, trying to figure out like how I want to tell the story of this ball club, tell the story of our brand, and share that with everybody, and not just Amarillo, but beyond the Panhandle. And so a lot of what I do on a day-to-day basis is trying to find that information so I can compile it, and whether it's in my game notes or in my recaps or whatever else it may be, trying to figure out how I can tell that story effectively.
Okay, let's go to the field, specifically talking about this pitching unit. We saw action from a lot of guys during opening weekend. We saw returners like Roman Angelo, Landon Sims, but we also saw guys make their debuts like Ashton Izzy. What can you tell us about this pitching unit, and how would you describe them based on what you saw in opening weekend?
Yeah, I think what you can say about them is what you can say about really any other AA baseball team, is that there's a lot of guys here who have a really high ceiling, a lot of potential to develop and get better and become the best version of themselves that they can be. And you see that in the pitching staff a lot too. And what this ballpark specifically will do to pitchers is make them work for it. Like just by nature of where we're at elevation wise, and we play in a relatively smaller ballpark, it makes it a lot more friendly to hitters. And so it's natural for guys when they first come here that they might get hit around a little bit.
You know, a guy who's very familiar with this hitter-friendly ballpark is Manuel Pena. I feel like he was the silver lining in this weekend. Hit 2 home runs, had 3 RBIs. He was a guy you could rely on in the first couple of games to step up to the plate and make something happen. How much of an impact will he make this season?
I think it's going to be great to have him hitting out of the leadoff spot. That's a position a spot he moved into, I would say, around the halfway mark last year. I can't remember when they made that transition, but he started hitting out of the leadoff spot. And you look at Manuel Pena, and he doesn't strike you as like a traditional leadoff hitter, but what he can provide is that spark. I would expect big things out of him. He's going to be better than he was last year, and last year he had a fantastic year leading our team in doubles. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else he can do over the course of the year. I think he's going to be great.
Zach, we appreciate the time. We will see you next time.